Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It's Thursday, October 31st, and it is 3:39 in the a.m. I have a lot to say this morning. You know, this past week I was really super quiet. I took some days off to regroup and refocus because I had some things going on. I was observing some things that were really just not cool. I'm gonna put it like that, just not cool. And I wanted to check out and regroup because it's like I recognize like the early signs of spiritual warfare and being tested. It's like how you gonna respond, you know? And I want to tell you, I grew up on the Lower East Side of Buffalo, New York. Now, anybody who grew up in the hood knows when you say the lower any side, when you use the word lower to identify where you're from, you know you have dealt with some hood boogerish behaviors. Yes, I did say hood boogerish, and you have adapted hood defense mechanisms. And your girl ain't no different, man. And there are grown folks today who won't speak to me because, I had to hand out some lessons as a kid. And it's like, what you're not going to do. And my list is very simple. You're not going to cheat me or anybody else. Because when I find out we got a problem, you're not going to disrespect me or anybody else because I'm going to check you right then and there. You're not going to talk down to me or anybody else because, we can have a conversation and I can admit I'm wrong. But you're not going to, browbeat me, denigrate me, or whatever, to make yourself feel tall. I have a definitive sense of fair play and justice. It's very concrete, very cut and dry, and I will tell you about it. I've shared. I have issues with anger, and I know where it stems from, but without getting into the psychology of it, I will tell you, hey, you're stepping on my toes. I will tell you very politely. I will tell you several times. But when we reach that that's it moment, baby, it's time for the correction. And that's me in a nutshell. Is it right? Not always. I need to be brutally honest about where I am and who I am. And I'm authentic in my stuff. And I come in announcing, this is who I am. Yes, God is still working with me. And yes, these things are present. I'm giving you the opportunity by telling you that these things are present, whether we have any dealings. Amen. Saying all that to say, had a conversation the other day, and I laid it out. I used this Maya Angelou quote in having this conversation. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Now I'm extending the benefit of the doubt. And because I grew up where I grew up, I'm not game goofy. But because I love God, I extend that benefit of the doubt. And I extend it to the point where, at times, I'm bracing for the hit. Because I know it's coming. I've given you information. I've given you life lessons. I've given you, hopefully, education and tools on how to navigate certain things. So the hurt is minimal, but people are going to hurt you. Hurt people, bottom line. And some hurt people have normalized their behaviors, myself included. And I catch myself. That's why you'll hear me preach, about what part did you play in your pain that you're holding other people accountable for. I want you to hear that again. What part did you play in your pain that you're holding other people accountable for? And getting back to that Maya Angelou quote, they've shown you, but because you have some kind of investment, you're thinking they won't do it to me, or it's not that bad because, I'm working with them, or I told them. I'm going to go back to the other quote. Hurt people hurt people. I want you to envision an animal in like a bear trap. Now, you may be very well intended to go rescue said animal. But because they're so wounded by this trap, they're so ripped up by this trap that they're in, they don't know that you're there to help. They're in distress. And in turn, they shred you to pieces trying to rescue them. Amen. So I want you to think about, believe people when they show you who they are. That does not mean you don't help them, but you brace for the hit, baby, because it's coming. There's a song, Here Comes the Boom, that they play for football highlights. Here comes the boom. Hurt people hurt people. And in this conversation that I had with this individual the other day, and I said this quote, and I said, I'm not game goofy. I want to say, I allow myself to be present for some life-altering hurt. Life-altering. I want you to hear me when I say this. Now, there was some other stuff going on at the time that was also life-altering. So the double whammy and the individual, I want you to really hear this. And that's like, for me, this is like a Christ-identified kind of pain. Because, truly loved this individual. Truly did. And they showed up. And I knew full well I had been collecting the information. In the visualization, I'm watching movements. I'm hearing things that are said and not said. But when the picture came together in its fullness, the pain was unreal. It's kind of like the Last Supper moment. One of you sitting at this table eating with me is going to betray me. And I knew full well coming in. Now, did Christ think love was enough? He did for the people, but he knew the reality of the situation at the Last Supper. The collective group of people, for God so loved the world, John 3:16. For the selected group of people, your circle, you need to know who's doing what. And you pray for insight into your circle. And my circle currently has two people. And I'm okay with that because I know there's covering with these two. What's my point? Are you covered? And are you prepared for the life-altering circumstances for when you need that covering? Who's your insurer?